Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out. And the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't stop it on me, though.
I'm not paying. Challenge.
Where would you get this from, man?
Ain't no jumping out.
When Joe Rogan noticed Gervonta Tank Davis showing a stronger, more muscular build before the Shakur Stevenson fight, you could almost hear that familiar Rogan reaction start right away, part surprise and part deep analysis mode.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and it's like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. But he finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence.
During his podcast, Joe Rogan did not hold back at all after watching the newest training footage of Gervonta Tank Davis. He reacted immediately, saying the fighter now looks like someone built inside a serious strength training facility. And the comment was not far from the truth. Tank's shoulders appear wider, his traps are raised, giving him the presence of a powerful bull ready to move forward. And his overall body seems much thicker than what fans saw before the Ryan Garcia fight. Rogan then began breaking it down in his usual analytical style, explaining that the added size could even boost Tank's power and explosiveness, suggesting that his punch speed and the force coming from his hips might actually improve rather than slow him down.
It's interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good guys.
The moment that really stood out came when Joe compared Tank to a smaller version of Mike Tyson mixed with modern sports science, saying this build is made for explosive power rather than slow tactical boxing. He even took a light shot at Shakur Stevenson, saying if Shakur believes this form of Tank is stepping in to win by decision, then he is completely mistaken, because this fighter looks ready to finish things quickly. Rogan clearly admires the effort fighters put into improving, and he enjoys watching that growth. And the current version of GervontaDavis feels like a major step forward, not in a literal sense, but in the way a boxer reshapes himself to make a statement. Joe ended the conversation with a simple thought, saying this is not just another update of Tank Davis. This is Tank Davis fully unleashed.
You know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
All right, after watching Joe Rogan dive deep into Tank's stronger build and even compare him to a smaller version of Mike Tyson, created with modern training methods, the attention then shifts to Wade Plemons and his analysis. And the discussion becomes even more interesting. It is clear the team is not simply showing strength for the cameras. They are carefully forming a full strategy. Calvin Ford stands in the corner, focused like a determined coach, studying Shakur Stevenson's habits and noticing every small weakness or moment that could become an opening. This is far from relaxed sparring sessions. This is Tank refining his skills, working on precise angles, and pushing his mindset into a place where the only result he sees ahead is complete control and victory, because
least serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
It's surprise. So tell me, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying? But we have hiccups in life.
And when I say Tank is going after the body again and again, it is not only about draining stamina, it is about slowly wearing Shakur Stevenson down, so that every step forward starts to feel heavy and difficult. Now, this is where things become intense, because when you watch the footage closely, it becomes clear that Tank is not only stronger, faster, and more powerful, he is also thinking sharper. Calvin Ford's guidance is not about letting Tank swing. Without control, the whole plan works like a calculated chess game, focused on one question: how to make a larger opponent answer for every bit of reach he believes gives him the advantage in this situation.
Be a guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when he's probably Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to attack.
I can picture it clearly now. Tank's rapid punches digging into the body, forcing Shakur Stevenson to lower his guard, and before long the later rounds start bringing exhaustion, while the chance for a turning point appears. You and I both know that if Tank connects clean with shots like these, it will not only slow Shakur down, it could completely change the direction of the fight. The surprising part is that while many people keep calling this event a show or a circus, the training clips suggest Tank is approaching it with the focus of defending a world championship, because when Calvin Ford is leading the corner, even pressure becomes something used to strengthen the plan. So get ready, because this is not Tank putting on a show for Netflix. This is Tank preparing to take control, and he looks ready to reveal every weakness in Shakur Stevenson's defense.
Ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. I'm just, that's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with some, hurt him back.
And just when we thought Calvin Ford's bluntness was something else, Lamont Roach Sr. stepped in, hitting GervontaDavis on the business side instead of in the ring. He did not throw punches, he threw contracts, pointing out that Tank avoided a rematch and went straight to Netflix, focusing on clicks and streams over tradition. Honestly, this Shakur Stevenson fight makes it feel like boxing took a hard turn into social media culture. Picture trying to explain this to a longtime fan, saying, yet Tank Davis is facing the guy who used to pull pranks on people at Target.
It's not good. It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you got to do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, get their coaches and small partners. They go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're going to stand 10 toes down, man, and we're going to see what's next for us.
And right after, Lamont Roach Sr. called out Tank for ignoring basic business, since his son Lamont Roach Jr. stepped in and spoke bluntly, like someone done holding back. He said exactly what everyone has been thinking. Tank did not just skip the rematch, he jumped straight into the Shakur Stevenson spectacle, treating it like a music festival. The funniest part is Roach labeled it for what it is, making it clear for laughs. Imagine training your whole life for a world title only to see the guy who beat you run into a flashy fight where the biggest talk is glove size. You can feel Roach's annoyance. He wanted a real battle in the ring, not Tank chasing views and attention on Netflix.
Tank is just so much more better than Jake Paul. And some people feel, well, Jake Paul is this big heavyweight that punches hard, and Tank's going to find out, do you feel like this is going to be an actual real fight just underneath the term exhibition? And do you see the fight playing out when someone gets hurt?
I don't even want to talk on that fight, man. So I can care less about what it is. It's an exhibition, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. He ducked that work. He ducked that work.
And look, I get it, the Shakur Stevenson fight is loaded with money potential like a Vegas slot machine spinning nonstop. But true legacy is not made on social media. If Tank really steps away after this, it would be like a superhero quitting halfway through the story. Because the merchandise sold out, think about it, Shakur Stevenson brings skill, and Tank is built like a human missile. This fight could either end in record time or become the biggest marketing spectacle since Logan faced a weather app. Either way, it feels like boxing shifted from classic HBO drama to a full-blown YouTube reality show overnight. But no matter what, we will all tune in, because when GervontaDavis meets Shakur Stevenson, you know something intense, explosive, and extremely expensive is about to happen.
Gonna get that rematch fight versus Gervonta after this fight? Who knows? He said he's retiring. I think he's scared. So if he's going to retire, I believe he's going to retire. You think he'll retire after the exhibition match? I think so. Why do you say that? Because we get scared.
Here's the crazy part. This fight feels more like a social experiment than a normal main event. You have Shakur Stevenson stepping into the ring with GervontaDavis, a fighter who grew up in Baltimore's toughest boxing gyms. It's influencer energy facing real fighter grit, the algorithm going up against the pure sport. And the wild part is both need each other. Right now, Shakur wants recognition beyond the boxing world, and Tank wants a legacy outside the usual scene. It's like two different worlds crashing to see who gives in first. But here's the key. If Tank lands a clean shot on Shakur, it won't just be a knockout. It could reset the culture. That would be the moment boxing takes back the spotlight from online influencers. But if Shakur survives, even dragging Tank into the later rounds, we might be witnessing the rise of the most disliked breakout star in combat sports. Either way, this is more than a fight. It's a showdown over who controls the attention next.
The Jake Paul and Gervonta fight, the weight, the ounces on the gloves, 12 ounce, and then, Calvin was asking to get the 10s. What do you think about that? And people who don't understand that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their fight per se. Like, I really don't care. I don't care about their fight.
And here it comes. One fighter is chasing greatness, the other chasing validation. But both are risking everything that defines them. When those gloves meet, it won't just be a fight. It will show whether authenticity can still beat the algorithm. Because either Tank is about to show the internet what real power is, or Shakur is about to pull off the biggest surprise since McGregor faced Mayweather. But what do you think? Is Tank going to take Shakur down faster than hotel Wi-Fi drops? Or can Shakur actually hang in Baltimore? Drop your thoughts, debate it, roast it, defend it. I want to see every opinion. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the place for real talk, bold takes and no filters. See you in the next one.
Jake Paul is good enough where people say, he's terrible. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. I don't care how a person feel about that. Fighters that started in their formative years, like we did, 8, 9, 10, we got too much time in. Jake will never catch up to that. He'll never catch up to that. We just got too much time in.